is going on, everybody? Nasdorachi coming back at you again today with another Dragon Ball Legends video. It's been far too long. I need to get my upload schedule back on track. So that's what we're starting to do today with this video. There's going to have to be more games coming. So I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll make some other uploads with some other stuff, but I'm getting anxiety sitting here not making content. So with that being said, we're just going to talk about some random stuff today. The VJump scan, a tier list, DKP. We'll cover a few things. Try and keep the video nice and short, not too long for those of you who don't have quite as long of an attention span. But I know I want to get back on track again. So let us pop up all of these arts that I have for things I want to show off, because we did get the VJump scan. It was a weird process. It took all day, and that's actually because of this right here, what you see on the screen. I found this the other day, and apparently Japan is going to be having a lot of copyright stuff going into effect 2021. It's very strict. I guess they're tired of people abusing them, and they're going to be DMCAing lots of stuff. This is why Kiss Anime was taken down the other day. So this will kind of extend to some other things, and how it relates to Dragon Ball Legends, well, it doesn't really directly relate to Legends at all, but people were scared to post the leaks of the VJump scan, which you see on the left side of the screen. They were scared to post them because there's even like potential jail time as, you know, a punishment that's on the table for breaking these new DMCA guidelines that Japan is more actively pursuing. So we waited all day with like the most blurry potato crappy looking screenshot. I'm sure if y'all are on social media, you probably saw it, but we had really bad screenshots. Still appreciative of the person that put them out, Miguel, but you know, they were very bad to look at, and not till like the very end of the day did we finally get something a little bit more HD. So we can look at that. I'm sure other creators have already spoken about these characters, so I'm going to keep it brief, and we're only going to go over them quickly. But, you know, I always like covering VJump scans, so I figured, why not? We're getting two hybrids. It's going to be transforming Goten and transforming Trunks. The immediate thing that stands out is that Trunks is wearing the outfit that he was wearing with Vegeta training in the days right before the World Martial Arts Tournament that leads into the Buu Saga. So I think that's very neat. Goten directly corresponds to that time period as well. It's the period where he was training with Gohan before the same World Martial Arts Tournament Buu Saga. So I believe before he transforms, he'll be throwing the rocks instead of Ki Blast. And then he transforms, and as you can see in like the middle of the screen here, he's going to have the main ability to transform. It's going to be timed, so it will run out, but he does have like a refresh to his HP, his buffs, like partially through. So that's what it says right here. If the transformation count falls below a certain level, your health will be restored, attack power will further increase. Special move, Super Goten attack, it looks like a headbutt right here if we are looking at the actual VJump scan, and that's what they're showing. No word of an ultimate arts technique, so they probably won't have them. Probably transforming units with no ultimate arts, and as well, VJump never tells us color. We can, kind of see the stat spread, if I could click on this properly. We can kind of see the stat spread right here, where it seems like he's going to be labeled as a defensive unit, because we got guard right here, and that's his most pronounced stat. The toughness is going to be HP. Most characters coming out these days generally have between like 1.9 to 2.2 million HP. It's kind of like the standard we're looking at right now. And besides that, his technique is relatively low. His energy is relatively low, but his power is pretty high. So maybe he's like a defense unit that leans towards melee. Maybe he's a support unit that leans towards melee and just has good defenses and melee attack. But it doesn't look like you're going to want to be throwing out Ki Blasts with him, and it doesn't look like his Ki Restore speed is going to be all that high. But defensive qualities and power, which is, again, melee strike-based attack, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, just based off of the chart that's above my head. So moving on from that, we can just kind of quickly look at the Trunks here. He's going to be almost as equally defensive looking as Goten. It's hard to tell because the bottom of the page is cut off, but he's going to have significantly higher energy and he's going to have the same power as well. So, I mean, they're kind of playing it accurate because at this point in the story, the Trunks is a little bit stronger than Goten because he's like a year older or something like that. So he does have a little bit of time, a little bit of strength over Goten. It seems like that's reflected here. So if he's defensive, then Goten's support. If Goten is support, it looks like he's just going to be a balanced attacker and defense, like pretty well balanced all the way around. Only his technique is lower, which I think is Ki Restore. I mean, it doesn't really say technique right here, but it could be that guard is physical defense and technique is ki or energy defense. That may be what it means. If you know, correct me down in the comments, but I think technique is Ki Restore, toughness HP, powers physical attack, energy is ki attack, and guard is obviously defense. That's what I am thinking the stat spread represents there. Either way, it doesn't really matter because as soon as Renzi and DBZ Space updates it, we can have a specific look at everything that's going on. So yay, 2 new hybrids. I think it's going to be another Legends Rising banner. I think Ultra Space Time banners are on hold for a while they try and redevelop them because they're not making enough money. They had set them up and kind of for the longest time just left them in a situation where people would generally get the free GSP tickets, do the dailies, and not spend very much on Ultra Space Time banners, except in the rare case where the ones like the Gohan and Bojack one, or Cooler and Red Frieza, the purple Cooler, those ones were quite good, but even those probably undersold compared to Legends Rising and Step Up banners at the time. So I do think they are redesigning the Ultra Space Time banners, and we may not see them for a little bit. So with that being said, Trunks here transforms with no time limit. Special move, Rush Break Shoot, which looks like a little bit of a melee combo here with maybe like an energy attack on the very end, if that's what we're looking at right here. His power increases if there's a character with a specific tag. I don't know if that's one that he's fighting against or if that's one that's on your team, but I would assume you're teaming him obviously with hybrids and or Vegeta family. That's the thing that most definitely comes to mind when we think of Trunks, and we look at other ones that already exist in the game anyway. His main ability of transformation words can be used to cancel your own stat debuffs, so you can cancel any like negative attributes to his strike attack, defense, stuff like that. He will recover physical strength, which is HP restore, and he will greatly increase his attack power. So again, I think this banner, Legends Rising, it's going to be a side grade banner. If you really like hybrids, you'll be able to potentially make some good pickups here. If you like Vegeta family or Son family, you'll potentially have some more options as well. And they do mention, which is also cut off, but if you look down here in the corner, we do see that the LF Gohan is getting a Zenkai Awakening. Everyone in the community pretty much knows this already also. He's going to team very well with Son family, of course, and hybrids. So again, they're doing some resurgences here for hybrids and Son family. Off the top of my head, I see like this Gohan doing really well with like the Zenkai Red Trunks on a potential team build. You have the Zenkai Legends Road Blue transforming Trunks to potentially get 3 Zenkais on the same team. So it's quite powerful. I do think that hybrids will be much more relevant when that LF unit does get a Zenkai. So we'll check that out when we get closer to it. Probably about 2 weeks away, early September, maybe like September 5th through the 9th is when we'll probably be looking at this banner showing up, which does leave room for something else big coming before or potentially after. If it was after, I think the magazine probably would have focused on like the step up that we may be getting soon. They may also be keeping that secret. But again, it's something to coincide with when the Full Power Frieza and Namek Goku step up happened last year. I wouldn't be too surprised if they dropped one. Goresh is thinking the same thing. Plenty of other creators are anticipating it. We don't know if they're going to do it or not, but it would make a lot of sense. Especially because we got like the LF Piccolo just came back on a very suspiciously baity mini step-up banner, kind of like what they did with the LF Vegeta. So I would say that there might be a relatively big step-up banner with some impactful characters on it coming soon. But we don't know exactly when or exactly what, and we can't anticipate that this is about 2 weeks away. So with that being said, we're about 10 minutes into the video. We've covered everything important over there. we can hop over very quickly and look at a few things on Legend Space, which we thanks to Renzi. This banner is also bait. It is the Legends Androids filler banner. The only thing good about it is there is Majin 21 on here, and I guess the green cell if you're not summoning on the Piccolo step up. Other than that, I would avoid this banner like the plague. It is definitely just a trap. With that being said, briefly look at the return of Piccolo. I did one rotation on this, and on the final step, I actually picked up LF Piccolo. So if you're a budget player, maybe one rotation or nothing. Just save. I don't really think any of these characters are meta-defining enough for you to really go out of your way for them, especially, again, if something big is coming soon. If you're a more premium player, by all means, summon on the Legends Androids, run through this once, as many times as you feel like it. But again, I only ran through it once. You're really looking at the DKP on here if you want to Zenkai him. He's absurdly good, which we can look at in a second as well, very briefly. Piccolo is obviously a good pickup, but the DKP is arguably much better for regeneration teams if you're able to get him to an advanced state anyway. You got Majin Buu on here, which is nothing special. Kid Buu, Janemba, nothing special. This Imperfect Cell was really nothing crazy. I mean, he's kind of fun to run, but it's nothing that, again, is really meta-defining. And this Goku, Feet Ku, he's pretty good. These two, you know, they've been around before. Really, it's the Feet Ku, the LF Piccolo, this guy that haven't been back, like, really ever. And then DKP, who's now Zenkaiable, who hasn't been back, like, on a featured spot on a banner in forever also. So again, not too much to worry about there. I would generally recommend saving everything that you've got for whatever might be up and coming. Again, unless you're a premium player. New equipment. The Raditz event is back, I do believe on stage 50. You can farm the LF Piccolo's Diamond or Platinum tier equipment here, and you're going to be looking at buffing Blast Attack, which is what he likes, buffing both defenses, which is fine, because he doesn't take hits very well unless he's cover changing. Even then, he takes a lot more damage than someone on regeneration like Baby or Boo, for example. They tank much better. And then slot 3 is kind of a miss. I don't know. It's still good. Just flat out extra damage to Saiyans, but that's only going to be useful in like 40% of your matchups. Because a lot of the times you will be fighting Saiyans, but a reasonable amount of times you also won't be. So that's kind of hit or miss on that. And the last thing we can look at quickly is what? DKP. I do believe if I just hit back here, Zenkai him. If you get him like 14 stars, Zenkai 7, he's got like the highest strike defense, I believe, out of like anyone in the game. Yeah, it's almost like 200,000. He doesn't have any defensive boosts to like help that, but just on paper, flat out stats, they're absurdly high. Back at 7 stars, still massively buffed strike attack. They added almost, what, 23,000 to his strike attack, which is great. His other stats also all improved by a pretty big margin. I guess Red's 2 would be like the best spot to try and get him. Mine's only 4 stars, so I won't be Zenkaiing him anytime soon because I'm not going out of my way to summon for him. Nor am I reading all of these to you guys, but rest assured, you know, I'm sure plenty of y'all, again, have already seen Goresh's video talking about all this. If he even has one, I'm sure he does. Ryuden, I believe, put out a showcase for him too. So I'm not going to go over all this, but from an analytical standpoint, if you combine this DKP on regeneration with like Zenkai Buu, if you combine him with the Zenkai Kid Goku, you can do like yellow, blue, and do like Zenkai Broly or Zenkai transforming Legends Road Trunks and get 3 Zenkais on the same team. You could do a lot of things versatility-wise with this character, and he does a butt ton of damage. Pretty much all offensive buffs in here. Stuff like stealing the Dragon Balls, plus to damage, plus to damage, plus to damage, key recovery, card draw speed, restores health, restores his everything. So he's a pretty impressive character, quite like Android 16, where they took a completely trash character and made them extremely good. I would say that Android 16 and this DKP Zenkais are a little bit more impressive than the previous Purple Scouter Vegeta and the Red Trunks. So there is value here. Again, a lot of players don't have him to 7 stars. I Probably wouldn't recommend summoning him for him and then Zenkaiing him also on top of that, again, unless you're a premium player and you can afford to do whatever you want. If you're free to play, though, and you can get him at least to like Zenkai 3, it might be worth it. I don't know. Again, it's a really tough call to give advice to someone whether to save for new powerful units as they come out or to Zenkai. I guess if your Kid Goku's really stacked, if your regeneration teams are very stacked, then this could be a worthwhile investment for you if you're a more budget player. If you don't really run those teams, I probably wouldn't worry about him and I would probably skip it. But he does lots of damage, lots of poison nonsense. I saw his blue card on, I think, Gresh's video that he posted on Twitter, like almost completely nuke a Vegito Blue by itself. So, very, very impressive character. Just sucks how overly monetized the Zenkai system is, even though it's a little bit better now than what it was before. So yeah, we've covered the new equipment, covered Demon King Piccolo. I don't think there's really too much else we can really talk about there. I mean, there is the Majin Buu Farm, the Chocolates event. There's a couple other things going on in game. The raids just ended for nice little rewards you could have gotten there. I'm still a little bit bored of the game. I'm not playing it like crazily heavy. It's another golden showdown right now, so double RP, boosted rewards, so that might motivate some people to play some more. Probably actually will do some PvP, see if I can get top 10k for some free stuff, because again, there might be a pretty impactful summon coming up soon, like a step-up banner, one that actually has more value. We don't want to drag the video out too long, but I did also figure I would check out a tier list pretty quick. And this is Slanak, always makes pretty quality material when it comes to tier lists. And I couldn't get the graphic done up looking a lot prettier this time. Of course, this doesn't have the adjustments for DKP on it, which will undoubtedly make some changes. I would place DKP like up here in the OP, but not that, well, regeneration could kind of come back between Zenkai Buu and DKP. So he probably does belong somewhere in these top two tiers right here. A little bit different. I'm not going to actually spend an hour going through this and talking about every single character. They mentioned a few things right here. Just like, we know that future fusions are like the best, most OP teams in the game right now. So seeing Vegito Blue, the Rage Trunks, and the Fusion Zamasu in the OP and meta category does make sense. God Key as well, running a lot of units that can counter the Vegito Blues you'll see quite frequently. So LF Vegeta and LF Beerus both are very good contenders for that, and the teams they're on are very, very solid and well-rounded. Kefla, of course, pairs with Vegito Blue on Fusions to make possibly the most obnoxious combination of characters the game has ever seen, which is never-ending strike card spam into Rising Rushes in like the first 10 seconds of the match. So very, very obnoxiously oppressive combination there. High value. Of course, Kefla is kind of a glass cannon. You got to play her safe, but it's quite problematic playing against that team. Unless you have Zenkai 16, which then you can shut down Vegito Blue pretty well, or maybe the new Zenkai DKP on a team with Zenkai Buu. That would work very well also. These characters, again, the Buu and the DKP probably would be a little bit more meta now that DKP has shown up, or this list was made like a week ago maybe. So just kind of covering it now, a little bit late. Of course, Zenkai Goku, still one of the best characters in the game. Majin 21, it's probably like the best like kitted character in the game that's not a Legends Limited, so not like Vegito Blue, and not a crazy Zenkai unit. So her kit is still astoundingly good, and she puts out a lot of damage, but her team's fallen off maybe a little bit. Again, maybe not now that DKP's back for regeneration. We'll have to kind of play test that over the next few days, weeks. Everything changes like every time a new banner, a new Zenkai comes out though, which is going to be pretty frequently. Like every week there's a banner, every other week there's a Zenkai and filler banners. And that's just going to be going on now indefinitely, it seems, which means free to play are put in a much tighter position budget-wise as to who they're going to choose to summon for, and Zenkai definitely prioritize teams who already have a very strong foundation for. Do not try and acquire everything, because it will just end badly and you'll likely get angry at the game and want to play it a lot less. So again, Yellow Vegito Fusions. Omega is great on regeneration, great with DKP now that he's out. Zenkai Trunks, very, very defensive, good on hybrids, future, all that. Again, I don't feel like covering every single one of these because it's going to take ungodly amounts of time, and I want to kind of showcase a tier list without having to spend a whole hour going over every single character. All of these characters, I will say, that are on here that are Zenkaiable are on here at Zenkai 7 because that's really what's the most relevant, and because there are plenty of whales out there that can have them there, that's what you're going to see them at more often than not when you're playing against them. So rating all Zenkais at 7 and pretty much fully boosted also, which again puts DKP somewhere up here near the top as well. We got one of the new Gokus here, another one of the new Gokus here. Very good offensive units. We got Shallot still up quite high for his placement on God Key. Purple Vegito. This is the good category. I would actually label good as like excellent and decent as good if we're looking at these tiers right here. I'll probably change that. But again, this is just me analyzing someone else's list. Don't judge me at all. Just, you know, leave your comments, your judgments down in the complaints, but don't fault me. That's all I'm saying. Purple Trunks likely raising in value due to how good hybrids are right now. They got lots of Zenkais going on. And from Rose, LF, Freezov, good. Super Saiyan 4s, all three of them. He has the green one behind the purple one, which is an interesting choice because the green one does great at countering Vegito Blue, but I guess he isn't super overwhelmingly oppressive outside of that. Green Frieza, still up here for countering Vegito Blue very well. Just LOE is kind of underdogging it right now. They're definitely not in like the top echelon in the meta. But with Z7 Cooler and a really well-off LF Frieza, strong foundations, they can be plenty competitive in PvP. Zenkai 7, Legends Road Trunks, always very offensive. Is going to fit on a lot of teams now too. Again, like I mentioned earlier, to get like triple stacking Zenkai 7 units as your 3 active characters. Like those teams are starting to show up in like meta fashions. Like especially when you start to look at combining DKP and Kid Goku with a third, you know, you can build mostly around color right now, but again, we're getting very close to like having meta builds of 3 or more Zenkai characters, which is kind of scary. Like coming up here in about 2 weeks or so, you'll be able to run the Zenkai LF Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, the Zenkai Super Saiyan 2 Purple Gohan, the Zenkai Red Trunks, and the Zenkai Blue. So there's going to be a lot of Zenkai units in the future of this game, and it's going to really impact the meta. Final form, full power Frieza, still tailing the bottom end of good, because Vegito Blue counters every defensive thing he's got going on, from the cover cut on green card with Vegito Blue. You can take right away those effects, and then getting rid of his endurance. So Frieza's definitely feeling a little bit of pain down here. Decent category, Feetku, great buffer, just low defenses. Movies Gohan finally falling off a little bit. Just Movies meta has been destroyed right now. It's just really not that great. This Zenkai Vegeta, again, wasn't a super amazing iteration of Zenkai. That's definitely one of the more low-key, just kind of average ones. DBS, Broly. This is one of the new Gokus as well. It's kind of rated down and decent. I don't know. I think I would probably put him in the tail end of good somewhere. Zenkai Black is, what, the worst rated Zenkai here? But, again, that might change a little bit because you could, like, put Zenkai Black and DKP on a team and then have, like, Yellow Perfect Cell on there who's going to get double buffed from those 2 Zenkais. So it's like, there's just crazy things that can be done. I don't know if I'd run a mono yellow team, but maybe it's good enough to actually get some results. Who knows? Again, having strong Zenkai characters and double buffing other characters, you get kind of nuts. Oh, we got Turles. Wasn't that amazing on release. Sin Shenron, Purple Cooler. I don't know, Purple Cooler could probably still be in the tail end of good also. And the Boo Tanks, he wasn't really that amazing on release either. That makes sense. Where's the blue? The Transforming Gohan's definitely much higher. He's going to be great for Tournament of Power stuff, and he also is pretty decent on hybrids for now, while Tournament of Power is not really a thing yet. Last year's anniversary units, Goku and Vegeta down here still in decent. Bojack, Red Frieza, other I don't know. I guess so. It's just, a lot of these teams that these units are going to run on either will have better units above them up here, or they're the only good units that'll fill those spots on their teams. Just their team might not be top meta right now. And again, tier lists in this game, it's good for, like, that's why I worded it as a meta snapshot, because it's good to see a snapshot of what's going on in the game right now. But they change so frequently. That's why you'll see people are always like downvoting them or saying this tier list sucks, it's shit, because A, not every player has every single character, and some things work better for them than others, and B, it's because it changes so frequently that, I don't know, it's just, it's hard to say that they're not unreliable, but it's just, again, this video will be accurate for as long as it's accurate, and then we get another step up like a week from now and 2 more Zenkais, and then, you know, who knows, half the things on the list could change. That's, again, why I don't really feel like spending an hour looking over it here, but we can kind of slow scroll through it, just kind of list off some stuff, keep doing what we're doing. Zenkai Broly. Actually, did I say that who did I say was like possibly the worst Zenkai earlier? Because it seems like Broly is the lowest on the list now. He's taken, nope, Goku. I take that back. Every time I see one, another one I see. So, free to play 21. You don't really run the ladies team anymore. That makes sense. Like if you're using Majin 21, it's just usually on like a raw regeneration team, and she's filling the purple role. So I guess that makes sense. And yeah, Zenkai Red Goku is definitely the worst one. It's very specific for like LOE matchups, which is not really a thing you have to really worry about a whole lot right now. Just least impactful. What is this though? Is this LF Goku behind the Zenkai Red Goku though? That is a very interesting take. And Buhan too. I don't know how I feel about that. And Yellow Cell even. And Decent below all them, huh? Alright, well I see how it is. Like decent is actually like, that word is misleading there. Definitely like excellent, great, and then decent maybe down here. That's maybe how I would word it to make it make a little bit more sense, because a lot of these characters are still pretty dang good. Alright, usable, more free-to-play characters. See, this will change in about 2 weeks, and this Gohan's going to be like up here at the very top in the OP category. So, again, this list is very fluid as time goes on. I can't stress that enough. Blue Gogeta doesn't really have a place on Fusions right now, because Fusions is very, very strike heavy, and he's very, very blast oriented. Makes sense. Hit. Okay. LF Gohan will be coming back up. Imperfect Cell. Bardock. I don't know. Red Super 13 goes real good with Zenkai 16. Maybe he deserves to be a little bit higher. This guy right here, Super 17, does no damage, but he's a great defensive bench if you have him start up enough. Kid Goku, Raditz, the original OG Purple 17. This is what the lowest valued LF unit now. Now we're down past Zenkai's. LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku still holding a little bit more value than Goten, which is interesting. So Goten is currently the lowest rated Legends Limited unit. Where is Legends Limited Piccolo in all of this? Where is Piccolo? I don't know if I really saw him. I might not have really been paying attention. Here he is. So he's up at the top of the decent category. Okay. Alright, makes sense. GT Kid Goku. The transforming blue blast God Vegeta. He was always kind of a weird character because of the way his Z ability kind of wants him to be Vegeta family, not so much God Ki. Kid Buu, Pikkon. Oh, Pikkon and Kid Buu, very close to each other. I guess you could build a team with like the EX Dabura, Pikkon, and some other powerful characters, and maybe it'll take you somewhere. I doubt it would take you to like the top like 5,000, but you might be able to climb with it reliably. Ribrianne, waiting for the resurgence of females, or Universe 2, like Zenkai somewhere for the females would be great. They don't have one. They're falling, I guess, maybe the furthest behind. LF Goten, sad to see him so far down the list. Even Ribrianne better than LF Goten, huh? Alright, well, maybe when Son Family makes a little bit of a resurgence, that'll change a little bit. Who knows? But I guess he would be like next in line for needing a Zenkai. Maybe even he would need one before, but Gohan's going to be more popular. And Gohan's older in terms of the LF units also. He's the second one, Beerus was the first, so it kind of makes sense. I'm not going to go through the trash category, but these are characters that just don't really have a place on any teams or any metas right now. Some of them could still be used in like quirk builds. Some of them could still be used as bench units or PvE to have value there for events or different things like the 30 stage long challenge rush. So none of them are probably actual like trash. But for a PvP meta snapshot, oh, they put Tapion on the very bottom, yo. Yo, if you're a Tapion fan, I apologize. Don't get mad at me, but Tapion is on the very bottom. I don't think this trash tier is actually like in any type of order. It's just kind of funny. Even Dabura is above Tapion. That's definitely not true. It can't really be in any order because Dabura would be like at the very, very bottom if that were the case. Red Cell, oh yeah, there are definitely some terrible units in here. The shop Blue Spirit Bomb Goku, but maybe some of them will come back soon. I don't know. There's just, yeah, not too much room to use these units outside of PvE or bench right now, currently. Alright, well, there aren't too many EX units on here either. It's pretty much all Sparkings, wasn't it? I really don't think there are any EX units on here. There are definitely some EX units that can contend with Sparkings and be fully competitive. But we'll give credit where it's due. You know, just kind of mouse through this again from the bottom up one more time. You can kind of pause it if you need to take a look at it. But I know Rusmir or Slenak posted it in the Facebook group. And maybe I'll post it on Twitter, kind of gauge people's opinions on it, see what they think. But for the most part, it seems like a pretty accurate depiction of what the meta looks like right now, minus DKP's newfound influence on it. So with that being said, I think I'm going to close out this video, keep it right around the half-hour-ish mark. Maybe I can edit it down to like 25 minutes or so. It's pretty good for a comeback video. We covered a lot of information with Dragon Ball Legends specifically. I do hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully my absence hasn't been I don't know. It's been pretty detrimental on my algorithms and on me. You know, I've wanted to make videos. I just haven't been super interested in Legends recently. But hopefully from, again, an analytical standpoint, I can continue to make content talking about stuff and maybe showcasing some things here and there. And again, I really want to pepper in some other games. I know not everyone will be interested in it, but if you are, awesome. Consider liking them all just so more people can see them. And if they're not your cup of tea, hey, look, I don't blame you and don't really stress or worry about it. But with that being said, if you did enjoy this video, consider leaving a thumbs up on it. Help spreading it out so, again, more people will be able to check it out. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts on the upcoming characters from the VJump, Zenkai LF Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, the Zenkai Dabura, the little bait banners and stuff we have going on right now, the in-game events, your thoughts on PvP, Golden Showdown, everything. Let me know what's on your mind down below. That tier list you just kind of looked at briefly with me there. I would love to know what's on your minds. And if you're new around here, consider subscribing so I can see you again on future uploads. Tap that notification bell so you'll be aware when I upload stuff, which I'm going to try to resume doing much more frequently. Again, just kind of been a little anxious not uploading. Well, I like creating content, I like entertaining people, so I need to get back on track. With that being said, I'll catch y'all on the next upload. Have a great one, and peace out.